What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Capasso here. I'm here with
Derek
DeSorbo. We are Coventry Circle Paranormal, and this is Coventry Circle Paranormal Podcast. Tonight, we have an absolute special guest on. It's an honor to have these guys on. They are Canada's own TV show paranormal researchers called True North Paranormal. Reason why I brought them on, they are awesome people. They are not like other TV shows. It's not aired yet, but when you guys do see it, if you guys do get to see it, I'm telling you, it's not like Ghost Adventures. It's not like these TV shows that are out. They keep the integrity of the investigation there, and they are just genuine people altogether.
Straight up down to earth.
Straight up down to earth. And we are honored to have them on. So we're going to bring them on right now. This is John and Katrina. I screwed it up. This is John and Karina of True North Paranormal. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
As you can tell, I messed your name up, Karina.
That's okay.
That's all right. She's Katrina.
Okay.
Just call her Katrina.
All right.
That's right. It's all good, man.
Awesome. So, just if you want to start off, tell the audience like a little bit about you guys.
Well, I mean, you go ahead. You're a lot more in depth than I am, Karina.
Okay. Well, I am the show's empath medium. So I guess you could say I kind of talk to dead people. What I do for the show is I do a walkthrough around the entire location ahead of time, and I let these guys know where I feel what and where to set up gear.
Ooh.
And like at our last location,
Yeah.
they didn't have any camera set up where I felt something. I'm like, you need to set up here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was crazy. So
I think part of what you do too is you actually make them go to us. You're like, I'm going to make all hell break loose on Dean and John.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Awesome. I guess I'm the investigator. I guess I'm the guy that gets to the darkest corners of the nether regions of wherever we're investigating. Dean likes doing that to me. Hey, you need to go over there. It's nice and dark.
Yeah.
But I'm in. I've been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah. He's tech and I'm feely.
Okay.
And I don't like the dark. I get pretty freaked out sometimes.
Wow. Being a medium, you get freaked out in the dark.
Yeah.
I know, right?
It's something mental I'm trying to work through.
Hey, I understand. Hey, listen, I am terrified of the dark, to be honest with you, because my first paranormal experiences when I was a little kid was in the dark, and it was somebody standing over me, literally breathing, and I would just hide under the covers and be like, oh my God, so I totally get the dark thing. Totally.
Oh, man.
Tell me, one thing I wanted to ask you guys was, how did you get into the paranormal? I'll start with John first. How did you get into the paranormal?
Man, okay, so mine's kind of a long story. Much like yourself, we have tales. That's kind of what kicked us. So for me, my grandfather had passed away. And, the family would toss it up. He was like a dad. He was a hero to me, right? So my grandmother called us over there one night. And, so I went and slept in my room on the second floor. And, middle of the night, I needed a drink of water. So I came down and I turned the corner on the landing, and there was my grandfather that walked past me. So I flew down the stairs crying. It's like, oh my God, it was just a dream. And he was. So ever since then, I've been on a mission to find out, what's on the other side. Is there something there? Was I dreaming?
Absolutely, yeah. I had a similar experience with my grandfather, so I know what you're talking about 100%. How about you, Karina? Actually, I have another question for you after, but what was your first paranormal experience?
My first paranormal experience. Paranormal. They have weird things going on, and then there's paranormal, which is separate.
Okay.
My first weird. I would get these knowings where I would just all of a sudden these things would come to me and I would know them and I have no idea why I know them. And I don't even know why I needed to know them because it just didn't make any sense. So I had that going on. So then that's when I Googled it and I found out I was an empath. So I don't know, and then from there, I learned and.
Of course. Now, what age did you learn that you were a medium and an empath?
It wasn't until my 30s.
Wow.
No, I've had weird experiences all my life, but it wasn't until I started putting all the pieces together until later.
Wow. Did anyone tell you, or was it something that you figured out on your own?
I had to figure it out all out on my own, because I mean, 10 years ago, if you came out with this stuff, you were looked at as crazy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really awesome that we can talk about it now.
I know, and people aren't like, "Oh my God, you're a nutcase." They're like, "Oh my God, please contact my grandfather." You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot cooler today than it was 10 years ago. You're absolutely right.
They would have put me in a straitjacket.
Yeah, no, understandable. Trust me, some of the stuff I've seen, they would have definitely put me in there too. So, you want to ask one something? I've been kind of going over you.
No, you took my question away already.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Now, wait, Karina, one other question about being a medium. I know everybody is psychic, but not everybody is a medium. Okay, so I wanted to know, how did you know you were a medium? Like, do you see, feel, and hear spirits, or what is your gift entail?
Well, yeah, there's the clairsentience. There's all clairs, right? Well, I don't have all of them, so I have a few of them. And then I didn't discover until halfway through season 1 filming that I was actually getting things that not just an empath would feel. It was things that I would see and picture in my mind. So that's when I looked into it more, or John did actually, and we discovered that, there's different types of empaths, and I am the empath medium.
Oh, wow.
it's bonkers, man. It means I can't brag it to her, otherwise she's going to know before I do it.
No.
So, oh man, that is so cool. Now tell me, as a medium, could you tell if somebody else has gifts in the room?
Not all the time. A lot of people have walls up and, and they have blinders up. Actually, there was an instance where I sent somebody else that I worked with, was an empath, and they have blinders up. They don't want, like, I would never even talk to about anything with them because, they just didn't want to know about it.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's kind of sad sometimes because, it's like, you have these gifts, you should use them.
yeah, 100%. I have I have a little bit clairvoyance. I have a little bit of the a clairsentience, and I also have clairaudience as well. My two that are strong are the feeling and also the hearing. But lately, my clairvoyance has been getting a lot better. Well, I'll literally see a vision will cover my eyes, and I'll see, that. And I spirits, like I can hear them sometimes, stuff like that. And I was always wondering, like, if I had that gift and how I can progress that gift with, I figured meditation, obviously, certain aspects going there. But I never really got to talk to a medium to figure out if what I'm feeling is true or if it's just, random things I'm getting or whatnot. So
Definitely. You have the ability, just practice. You can practice all 5 of them and you can become perfect at all of them.
Wow.
The one I suck at is the smelling one.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to do that one. Yeah. That one seems really hard.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people can get it so easy, but
Yeah.
not me.
Sorry, I've watched this one girl one time. She put her hand on a wall and she was able to tell everything about that area. And I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
I have moments
weird,
like
man.
that.
It's so weird.
Yeah, that's psychometry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know the name. I didn't know the name of that. One thing I wanted you guys to share was how you guys came together to work.
Like as True North or Karina and myself?
What was that?
As True North or Karina and myself?
Yeah, as Karina and yourself, because I figured that would start before you guys started.
Yeah.
It was ghosties. It was all the ghosts.
All the ghosts?
Actually, we met
ghost
on
was the
Facebook.
icebreaker.
We met on Facebook and we started talking about haunted locations.
Oh,
She
wow.
liked my band. I belong
Yeah,
as a
he's-
metal musician.
He was in a metal band and I liked him.
Yes, metal band. Awesome.
Right?
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a guitarist and I sing, so I totally love that.
I played in a Megadeth tribute called Rattlehead. We toured Canada, US, and Mexico before I bailed, so
Oh man, awesome. That is so cool.
it was rad.
So man, I'm so excited for this first season coming out. I know we can't discuss anything about it because it's going to be amazing when it comes out, and I don't want to give any spoilers. But
We can give a couple away if we really.
Oh,
If you guys
do that.
want a little bit of tidbits, I mean,
Go
we
ahead.
can talk about a little bit.
whatever you're
Whatever you guys are
allowed to,
comfortable with.
whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you're allowed to, that'd be great. If not, totally cool, okay, because I love to get, excited with surprises, I should say. So
Right.
I don't like too much spoilers either. But
No, I get it. We can talk about things that we've definitely talked about before.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know, and you actually saw one of the theater productions.
yeah.
So it's Dean and my Scooby-Doo moment. So this people have seen.
Okay.
So it's bar none one of the creepiest things that I've experienced. That far off the floor. So the catwalk that we were on was about 25 feet.
It was way up there.
Yeah. So man, Dean and I were on this catwalk, and I don't know. It's just we were getting a whole lot of crazy responses, and one of the things they were saying was people would hear somebody on the catwalk walking. So naturally, Dean and I are like, well, we're going up there because it's got a lot of activity. I mean, let's go. Why not?
Yeah.
And Dean picks the darkest corner. So it's like, okay, we're setting up right here, man. I don't like that door behind me. That door behind me freaks me out, but let's do this.
Yeah.
And we heard these footsteps, and both Dean and I froze. And we're like, what was that?
Mm.
And then you hear it accelerating like it's running.
Oh, wow.
And Dean and I smacked into each other.
Oh no, you smashed into each other.
Yeah, so our Scooby-Doo moments. I mean, we talk about that one quite often.
Yeah.
One of the questions I wanted to ask you is, like, tell me, what's it like to be able to get into these locations that are not easy to get into as a, just a regular amateur, investigator? Like, what's it like to be able to have this opportunity?
You know what, man? It's really humbling. That's the best way I can put it. It's really humbling because we know that a lot of these places we get to investigate aren't open to the public. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's one of the coolest feelings you can ever experience, but it's something you can never take for granted.
Definitely.
You're very, very thankful in the end. So, I mean.
And we ask permission, of course, but way back when I was younger, I never asked for permission. It is you get permission. But.
I think most investigators don't, I think, in the beginning. And then we kind of learn the hard way if we get in trouble.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's kind of like me. I'm usually the one that says, hey, I think we gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm the nervous Nelly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. I think one of the coolest locations that we got was actually Fort Steele.
Oh, Fort Steele was awesome.
So Fort Steele is a place in the Kootenays in BC. I don't know, man. We had this entire town to ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was just surreal. So, I mean, you're walking around the whole ghost town, and, the public can come in during the day and meet True North, see the gear we use and the cameras. But, man, once that gate closed, it was so eerie. It's like anyone's here.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Now, tell me, is the show just going to air in Canada, or is it going to air? Because I was told that it might air like across overseas, and you have a lot of following over there. So, can you explain that a little, or?
Well, Europe is huge with this ghost stuff. Like, it's massive over there, and it's like we got lucky. We got picked up, or we got a sponsorship deal rather with Paranormal Electronics Limited.
Okay.
And, man, since that we've noticed like our European audience just expand rapidly. So I mean, I know Dean's really looking at Europe. Him and Denise are working really hard on that one. It's nuts. We got fans in globe, really. I mean, that's Russia, Australia. It's amazing.
Hopefully, we'll be everywhere.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping you guys will be everywhere too. Like I said, the integrity you guys hold that I got to see is just amazing. I mean, it doesn't feel like what you'd see on a TV show. It feels like what you'd see. I mean, I hate to say this, but it feels like what you would see on a professional YouTube channel that would go out on their own and do what they have to do as investigators and researchers, but like in a professional way, not like these kids that are just going out like we do and all that stuff. Like it looks like a professional, production of, researchers, which is nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, man, it's awesome. It really is. I was so shocked. I really was. I really thought it was going to be like what I see normally over here on TV, but it was completely the opposite, and it blew my mind, and I fell in love with it immediately.
Oh, we appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, Georgie.
No problem. No problem. God, I'm going to let you ask something.
Why?
Terrible. I'd be like, hey, give me a breather. He'd be like, okay. And then
I
all of
don't
a
even
sudden,
know. I don't even know why he has me on here because
Yeah.
I never really say much.
Came to hang out, man. Came to hang out.
look, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
There you go.
I'm just a gorilla behind the camera. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
That's it. So what I wanted to ask was, with the what if I don't know if you can actually you probably can't answer that question. So let me ask it differently. What is the biggest paranormal experience you guys had in your life as of right now? It doesn't have to be with the TV show. It doesn't have to be with that. Just in general, overall.
I think most of them are with the TV show now.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. I can talk about some of it. I just won't talk about where and what episode. And
Yeah.
Please don't do that. Yep.
that's right.
I will say this. We were filming one episode, and it was in the middle of the day. And there were tourists outside, and I actually ran from the house. I wasn't the only one because it was actually getting not safe.
Oh, wow. And you must have been feeling it too.
I have to say that was probably the most prominent one because, I mean, it was the middle of the day.
I mean, if you don't mind me asking, did you like see something yourself that freaked you out, or?
It was actually a whole situation that was being played out.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much all hell broke loose, and we left, and we kind of had to give it a rest.
Definitely. No, I don't blame you on that. I'll speak, John. Something for you. What would you say?
You know what, man? I can talk about probably one of the freakiest things I've been a part of.
Okay.
I would say it's probably the same instance we're talking about.
Yep.
This building was alive. That's the best way I could put it. And like we all heard something. We were all stationed in different parts of the building.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. There was like this big loud boom, and everybody thought it was around them. So this big loud boom had no episode.
Wow.
And everybody's camera caught it, and I'll tell you, man, it was the most chilling thing. Now, off camera, I actually got scratched, and I had no idea I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was putting my shirt on the next morning, and Rina's like, "Hey, you got some marks on your back," and I'm like, "What?" Yeah. So she took my phone and took a picture, and sure enough, 3 scratches right on my back. It was crazy.
And it's weird how you don't feel that happening. Like, it's just, I've seen it happen to other people. I'm like, oh, they made it up.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I've seen some people that do feel like a burning, but most of the time, yeah, you don't see a lot of people that feel anything.
Yeah,
no.
Weird.
No, I've been pushed.
Yeah, that actually.
What's that?
That actually happened to me. I felt it immediately too.
Oh, did you?
Oh.
He's been having a little bit of energy at his house lately, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for me, it was. I don't know. This thing was strong. Whatever it was strong.
Yeah.
But at the same token, like, I don't know. You think I felt that? That was a good scratch.
And then when we went back the next day into the same building, nothing. Felt like a different house completely.
Oh, wow.
It was so weird.
Isn't that weird how paranormal comes and then the energy just leaves? And you're like, where do you go? You know what I mean? It's just to be there 1 second, gone the next. It's crazy. Like, you be getting crazy responses and the next minute it just goes dead and you got nothing. It's like, where in the world did that energy go? Or like, if you feel it and then all of a sudden it disappears and you're like, wow, that was so strong. And then all of a sudden now it's just, it's uncomfortable. It really is. I wish we would know more, than we do. I wish that it would really be researched hardly by the government and by a scientist. And because I think, like what Tesla said, if we start to research the stuff that we can't see, I think we're going to open up a whole new world of possibilities, what we can see.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's why we have the pseudoscience of paranormal research.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why guys like you and me are doing this, right? Like,
yeah,
let's face facts, man. It was taboo, and the world's so open to it now where it's accepted.
Yeah.
And it gave guys like you and me and millions of things out there an opportunity to go out there and get this evidence.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
I like that title, parascientist. I like that title.
That's cool.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you get to pick your locations, or are they chosen for you?
No, a lot of times at True North, we start off with word of mouth. I approach them because we take that hands-on approach. So, I think it means more when you have, one of the co-hosts of the show calling you going, hey, this is John from True North Paranormal. We'd love to come film there. This is why.
Exactly.
So it starts with me, and then, once we get a tentative date, I pass it off to Denise, who's our field producer. And yeah, Denise does her thing, and it's locked in, and we're on the road.
Sometimes there's a bit of a process to get there, but then sometimes people are like, yeah, come and film.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Hell's Gate.
Yeah, our last one that we just finished filming at was, you didn't even have to work at it.
I didn't even get half my spiel out, dude. I was like, hey, there's John from True North Paranormal. I'm calling because I'd love to come film your location. Okay. So wait, what?
Yeah, right? Like, wait, I'll sell this?
Yeah. So, no, it was cool. I like that stuff, man.
Cool. Was there any other places that you got denied?
Oh, God, yeah. There's lots. The list is countless, and we won't name them because...
And then there's ones that we've asked 2 or 3 times, and they'll say no, and then they'll say, no, it's not haunted. And I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah, you got too many people saying they have experience. There's no way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could probably feel the energy not even being there, most likely. So, yeah.
Yeah, they just don't want, a lot of people just don't want the stigma or the reputation around it.
Exactly. Because then people show up there, and, then you get the people that want to cause issues and not want to do the right thing. And
That's right.
They ruin it for all the people that do the right thing, which stinks.
It's unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, guys, I'm going to ask John first. John, what is your favorite piece of equipment to use out in the field?
You know what? Believe it or not, it's nothing flashy. It's just my millimeter. She's my fail-safe.
Awesome.
Every time I'm in front of the camera or, anything, my millimeter's in my pocket. I'm always doing sweeps, reading the room, reading the milli guys in the room, EMF in the room. I love that tech, man. I can't get enough of it.
That's my favorite one too. That's my go-to.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't lie.
I really know how to use.
Yeah, it's the one he's comfortable with, so we let him just go play with it. What I wanted to ask was, the millimeter that you have, does it have the like the REM pod piece attached to it, the antenna that you could? Oh, awesome. Yeah, we have the one that doesn't have that. It just reads the temperature and the EMF waves. But yeah, I love that one. That's the next piece of equipment that I definitely want to get. Is the one antenna, yeah. Isn't it awesome when you get you get a spirit right there, and that all of a sudden it just starts making that noise, and you're like, oh man, you're just holding the device.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. What's crazy is Dean and I feel it, and I'm sure you get the same thing. You feel it before your instruments do. The room just feels electric, right?
Yep.
It just has a weird feeling, and you're like, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, you could feel it from your toes to your head. It's just electricity through your whole body. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Karina, what's your favorite? Besides, I know you are a medium, you don't need any equipment, but if you do use equipment, what is your favorite?
The SLS camera. I love it because it's such a visual, and it can be so creepy.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
When I first saw it on TV, I'm like, oh my God, one day we have to have one of those, and now we do.
Yeah. Now tell me, as a medium, can you tell everybody out there, is that piece of equipment actually showing a spirit?
I definitely feel something in the room at the same time that I see something there. Like this last time we actually caught that big piece of evidence, I couldn't put a sex to the spirit. Like I couldn't tell whether it was male or female. It was just an energy. And a lot of things that I struggle with, and a lot of others might as well struggle with as well, is trusting yourself. It took so long for me to trust myself. So I had to say, no, you're right. It is not male. It is not female. It is just a big, weird, nasty energy. So that's what it was. Caslo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever been in a situation, I know you guys probably have, but Karina, have you ever been in a situation where you guys had a negative entity like a demon or anything along those lines?
We've had nasty, like really, really nasty, but nothing no demon. We have not come across a demon as far as I know.
I can say that we've never actually found evidence to substantiate a demonic entity at all.
No, just really nasty ones we've come across, but nothing we can't handle.
No, you know what? I feel like a lot of spirits, especially the negative ones, I feel like a lot of them try to scare you by saying over the spirit box or something like, oh, I'm the devil, or, they try to act like a demon, but in reality, I feel like they're just, a grumpy spirit or an angry spirit that just wants to try to cause fear as much as they can.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's crazy though. Now, tell me, what's your second go-to, John?
My second go-to. That's a tough one. It's probably going to be my SB11 though.
Oh, I love the SB11. Now, I have a question for you though about it, right?
Sure.
So our SB11, I noticed that the connection with the radio, I don't know how it is up where you guys are, but where we are, we don't get a lot of audio coming through with the device until obviously we get a spirit coming through. But I've noticed that the SB7 for them is a little bit easier because there's more audio than the SB11. How is the SB11 where you guys are? Do you get a lot of audio coming through like the SB7?
You know what, man? I've got a lot of really good hits with the SB11. We tend to get the odd radio station, but I found the SB7 actually produced more radio than actual white noise, right?
Yeah, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a matter of where you live, I guess. I don't know. I've never used one down south, so.
Now, what settings would you use on the SB11? Would you use AM, FM? Would you turn the antenna off? Always FM? Okay.
Yeah, I put on the FM. I set it so one's forward, one's reverse, antenna's up, and all lights and sounds are off.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to try that definitely. Thanks, John. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And I will say that SB11 is my least favorite because I hate white noise. It reminds me of fingernails down the blackboard. I can't stand the sound.
Yeah, no, I know. It's so loud. It's like, just that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's crazy. We were told by one of the spirits one time when we were out to actually shut it off, that they actually didn't like the white noise. And they were like, I asked them, is it easy for you to use? And they would tell me, no, it's not easy. And I never understood, obviously, because I'm not dead, but I just went with it and we would switch. Have you guys ever used any like apps or anything like that is built for actual communication or no?
I don't use apps simply for the fact that there's zero scientific basis behind them.
Okay, cool.
I like to rely on tech that are specifically designed. When it comes to an app, your cell phone doesn't have those sensors.
Oh, yeah.
It's a random noise or random word generator at best.
Okay.
Until I've be proven otherwise. And if someone knows something, please tell me so I can be educated.
No, that's totally understandable. We do use an app called Necrophonic made by a guy named Keith Weldon over here. And I tell you, I can show you some of the response we got. It's pretty amazing. We actually did a session the other night, and there's no real words in it. There's just phonetic sounds. And we got, I go to the spirit. I'm like, we just closed the portal that was in the house that was causing a little problem. And we closed the portal. And when I was done doing the little 2-minute session, I go, all right, spirits, good night. And all of a sudden, we had 4 people in the room, me, my uncle, my grandmother, and my aunt. And all of a sudden, you hear come through the box, good night, everybody. And it was awesome. I mean, we were at a military cemetery once, and I was just joking around. I'm like, spirits, soldiers, if you would like us to pray for you, please say, sir, yes, sir. And through the box, right after I said it, came, sir, yes, sir. I was blown away. I was jumping. I was like, oh my God, this is cool.
Cool.
We didn't get any of it.
Yeah, it was so windy. The audio got messed up. I was so mad. So
that sucks.
as clear as it was then, and I was like, I don't want to post this. I only want to post something that's clear that everybody could hear.
Yeah.
So now I'm sorry I didn't ask you, Karina. What's your second go-to?
Well, I would. Gosh, I don't know. I like the flare.
Okay.
Because you can definitely see when something is appearing and when something dissipates and when the temperature changes. You can actually. I like the visuals.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. Me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hearing is too hard.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I one thing I like about the flare is that like you said, you see the visuals of it, and you could definitely see when, like, say if a spirit was sitting on the bed, you'll see his actual mark sitting on that bed, which is so cool. And it's like when you get something like that, you're like, so how can you prove that wrong? You know what I mean? Because it's picking up
That's right.
there's no, I don't know how a scientist could say to me, yeah, no, that's fake. You know what I mean? Or that's not really like, it may not be a spirit, but it's like, there has to be something there because it's registering something there.
That's right.
The flare isn't, one of those machines where it just, messes up from time to time,
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. I mean, it's there, man. How do you dispute thermal imaging? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know what, though? I heard they're really expensive. I never got to look into them, but from what I hear, they're expensive. Can you guys, like, tell me a little bit if they are or not? Or if
they can. Depends. I know the floor that we were using. I think
It was a little device that we stuck into the tablet. I think that's what we used to use.
He's asking me the price point, though.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was relatively expensive for that one. I know the new one we have is a handheld unit, and again, our sponsor, Paranormal Electronics Limited, has them, and they're actually cheaper than most places.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to ask you, can paranormal investigators go there and buy equipment from them? Or is it
definitely. Actually, if you go to their site, you will see that their prices are way better than anywhere else. Like, it's crazy.
Way better?
We got to check.
Yeah, if I said way better.
We gotta check that anymore. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's what's cool about them is they're kind of made by investigators for investigators, so they understand what all of us poor,
they know it's a
average Joes
struggle.
have.
Yeah.
It can get very expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like once you get that new toy, you're like, I can't wait to go use it, So
Christmas time.
it's expensive. It's worth every dime, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, check it out. There's some things like I'm notorious for dropping gear.
Yeah.
So actually, we have these ghost boxes that I used to use. I've broken so many of them, and and John sends me these static pods.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding, dude. I dropped this thing from 10 feet up and nothing, not even a chip. I was like, wow, that's epic. Wow. So they're John break proof. It's great.
Hey, that's perfect. That's
perfect.
I'm sure nobody wants to give you equipment when you're out.
No.
Hey, put the styrofoam over it, so if it drops, we're good.
That's right. Bubble wrap floor.
Bubble wrap floor. Yep. What did I want to ask? I just had a question.
Well, I was going to say that I'm notorious for not even turning equipment on.
Oh yeah, him.
I'll do a wicked investigation.
Oh my God.
I'll record a second.
And he hears me cussing from across the field, and he's like, "Well, you're not recording." I'm like, "Yeah."
What was I gonna say? What in your opinion is like the best response you got, John, over the SP11? Something that you can remember, either before you got into True North or something that really stuck with you as an investigator.
You know what, man? Something that sticks with you forever is when someone calls you by name after you ask it to.
Absolutely.
I mean, we were all actually even disclosed the location because it was creepy. We were at the Kaitani house in Vernon, and I had it sitting on the floor of the SPL drops, and I said, "My name is John. If you're there, can you say hello to him?" And dude, I'm telling you, hi, John.
Oh man, yeah, I love getting my name, dude. It's freaky. It's so freaky, Yeah. I mean, I've gotten my last name a couple of times, which really freaked me out because my last name's Capasso, and I'm like, it's not really a common name like for a lot of people, but it's like when they called me Aunt Capasso, I was like, oh my God, I was like, I don't know where you are in this room, but I want to go.
Yeah, that's so cool though, man. I'd ask them to say our last name, but our last name sounds like you're sneezing.
That's awesome.
Have you guys ever come away from an investigation with any attachments, something that followed you home?
Not me personally.
I have come home and I'm out of sorts. Like, I'm like right bitchy for like a few days.
Okay.
And you know, you cleanse, you do your thing, and then you feel normal. But you've seen it.
Yeah, oh no,
I wasn't all that happy.
Oh yeah, I know.
try to earn with her when that happens. Oh my God.
Yeah, like especially when you're on a location for like a week,
Yeah.
after day 3 or 4, like it can take its toll on you, and
Oh, yeah.
it can run you right mentally down.
Well, as an empath, I mean, you're feeling so many emotions. Not only like John and Dean and everybody who's in the room with you, but you're feeling the spirits, energy, and all that. So you must get drained.
Oh yeah, like I used to have naps all the time.
Yeah.
I've slowed down on the naps, but yeah, I have learned in the meantime to not get so drained. So I have, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I have gotten better with my powers.
Oh, yeah, I've gotten more. Yeah, understandable, definitely, because if you have more control, you can, decide
Yeah.
whether or not that energy is going to affect you as much as it does. I understand that. That's
Now-
really cool.
Now, can you switch that on and off, or is it just that something that's on all the time?
I have to switch it off sometimes. Like if I was visiting somebody in the hospital, I hated hospitals. That is the last place on earth I ever wanted to go. So I would try to shut myself right down when I went. Now I'm way better with it because I can accept what's there and I don't let it get to me.
Okay. Now, have you noticed a lot of spirits being in that place, like a hospital like that?
I mean, it's so weird because you could be in a hospital room in the middle of the day with lots of people everywhere, and you can still feel creeped out. Like it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, no, and there's a lot of people that I've seen that have done like abandoned hospitals or something like that. They've gotten a lot of evidence. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. I would love to investigate a hospital that was still open.
Yes, it's so hard though because I mean, there's people in it all the time, so it's like, yeah, getting that chance would be.
I know. It'd be cool though if they were able to clear it out, for a little section or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody leave the hospital for a couple of hours.
Yeah,
Keep all heart patients out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be cool though. Now tell me, and either before your show or after your show, I don't know if you can answer this or not. If not, it's okay. What was the coolest place that you've ever been to investigate?
I'm going back to Fort Steele.
Okay.
Yeah. Fort Steele was hands down amazing. The staff were amazing. I'd say a close second actually is Hell's Gate though.
Oh yeah.
Hell's Gate.
Yeah, Hell's Gate is something else too. But yeah, no man, they're so rad. On different scales, I'd have to say they're actually tied. I mean, Fort Steele, it's an old, and the towns around you, and it's such a cool experience to be part of.
Yeah.
And then Hell's Gate, there's one way in and one way out, and that's 500 feet on a tram going down.
Oh wow.
Yeah, once 5 o'clock hits, you're stuck.
Ooh. Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, that sounds wild, I tell you.
It's rad, dude. I'm telling you, it was the coolest thing.
That's so fascinating. I love all this stuff, man. I just love everything about paranormal, even locations, just going. It's so fascinating and so amazing to get just the history of places, and that's one of my favorite parts, the history.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing around here too. Is we have a bunch of abandoned places, a bunch of haunted locations, and it's all state property. We can't even go in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that sucks.
We have something like that here. It's called Trunkill on the Lake. It was a TV town.
Oh wow.
And I mean, they closed the town down, and they have events there now, but no one can go and investigate. Some kids had a bonfire in a gym, and that was the end of it.
No, back in the day, they would let people film there. But if you got money, I think they'll let you go. But
Oh wow.
yeah, but we've been trying. But
That's cool. That's cool. That right there is my aunt that I was talking about. She just walked by. This is True North. This is John.
hi.
Good, how you doing?
Yeah. So she was the one. Spirits call her name out at this house like you wouldn't believe. It's unbelievable. And she was woken up one night to someone calling her name, and she got out of bed and walked upstairs to see if we were awake and all this stuff. It was pretty crazy.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then the
Not
old,
really.
yeah, she goes, not really. But yeah, the old house that she was in, it was nuts. Before she left, I mean, she was hearing rings, she was hearing,
She was getting touched on the spine of her back, all
yeah,
kinds of stuff.
it was nuts for her. Yeah, and she's not really the big paranormal person like we are, you know. So
Yeah.
and she's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So
These days, if something touches you, it's like something touched me.
yeah, and then yelling at us because we brought it in the house.
I tell them they have the wrong person. You got the wrong person. They're over there.
Yeah, that's funny.
So
Nice meeting you guys.
You as well.
so yeah.
I'm gonna go check for this.
But yeah, so what I wanted to ask was with like, you know, now with being on, you know, with having your TV show, having all that, have you seen a lot of outpouring of new audience, like fans and contacting you or anything along that yet? Because I know it hasn't came out yet, but all the audience and members that you have that are already following you, do you guys get a lot of outpour from them?
We do. We get a fair amount. You know, Dean and Denise manage the website. They're part of Thunderboys Productions Inc., who owns True North Paranormal TV show.
Yep.
And I know they get emails regularly.
Oh,
You know,
And I get a lot of people asking for advice, like just life advice, which is fine.
yeah.
So I like that.
Now, do you do any readings for people at all?
Yeah, I have done readings,
Awesome.
and it keeps me in tune, so I really don't mind doing them.
Yeah, no, of course, that's great. Now, do you have to like prepare yourself for a reading, or is it something?
I used to have to go through quite the ordeal just to prepare. You know, I needed everything in order, and then I do. But now I'm okay. I can just, you know, sit down and do a reading, and it takes practice.
The question is, how many times have you read John? You can't lie, John. She knows.
she'll know.
Yeah.
And I can't even go buy a guitar. Otherwise, I'll get a text on my phone, don't buy it.
So this is that.
Oh man. So oh man, I just had a really good question I wanted to ask. I was dying to ask. Come on, back me up here. Ask a question.
All right. Well, do you guys have locations that actually come to you and say, "Hey, we want you guys here to investigate"?
I think that's happened a couple times.
Yeah, I think that's happened. You know, it doesn't happen often, but I think it has happened.
Yeah, we're getting to the point now where people, because of the reputation, the name, you know, working your ass off for years,
Yeah.
you know, at the point now where people are actually reaching out versus us having to reach out. It's kind of cool.
That's kind of when you know that, yeah, you know, I finally made it. You know,
Yeah.
people are coming to us. You know,
It's the thing that always is important, though, especially I know for me, is making sure you stay humble and never letting it get to your head. Like I'm no different than anybody out there. I do it in front of a camera and I love it.
Yeah.
But I do it for the same reason as everyone else out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, you can't lose that passion. Otherwise, it just becomes something totally different that isn't worth it anymore. Yeah, I get that.
now, is it easy to investigate in front of a camera? That's not yours, or is there a lot of pressure there, or is it?
Learning curve.
It's a switch. And, you know, when we get Dean gave us a piece of advice back when we started filming, and that was if you talk like you normally talk, you're gonna appear really flat.
Okay.
So, you know, you look at the early True North Paranormal and it's like, whoa, Karina.
We were so boring.
I
think the biggest change, though, was really for me changing tactics and how I investigated, you know, because you have to have sequencing. So, you know, for me to go to a building 20 feet away,
Yeah.
it takes about 20 minutes of preparation and just for me to get into that building.
Yeah.
So you just have to switch up how you're doing it. You know, I mean, Dean's a genius. I mean, the camera's always on his arm, and you know, something starts going down before we set up, he's filming it. But you know,
That's awesome. Now, did you guys always have the name True North Paranormal, or did you guys go by something else before the TV show?
We had a group here. We were called the Canadian Paranormal Research Society. That's what we were. And Dean, our producer, he has his own TV show, hunting TV show, Bushnell's Trigger Effect. So he wanted to actually do a ghost hunting show. So what he did is he found us on Facebook. under that name. That's how we found it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Dean was looking for quite a while. He decided Thunder Bros wanted to expand it. So, I mean, and then he called us up and said, well, you guys want to do this? And it's like, hell yeah, man, let's go.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
definitely. Yeah, I would say the same thing if I was in your shoes. 100%. That would be so cool.
Yeah, man, right place, right time is what it was. And Dean and Dean, I mean, they're family to us. I mean,
That's
they're
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's hard to find, a production company that's like family to people because most of the time they use their talent and that's it. You know what I mean? Like they use it for their purpose and then they say, yeah, you know what I mean? And that's it. Once the ratings go down, it's over with. They don't care about their people anymore, which I've seen so many times. But even for me talking to Dean, I tell you what, that man cares about you guys 100%. And it's amazing to see. And I even asked him myself, how to get involved in the stuff that you guys are doing. I mean, something I want to do in the States, hopefully down the road. But, I even asked him because even if he could recommend somebody, because the way that he cared about you guys when I spoke to him was just off the wall amazing. And I didn't expect that from a production company.
Oh, yeah.
I really expected don't talk about this and, this, and this. And I thought it was going to be all demands and it was just going to be like, I wasn't going to be able to talk about anything. And he was just like, listen, man, these guys are awesome. And I back him 100%. And I mean, Dean was awesome. He was an amazing person. I was hoping he was going to come on too, just to speak. He's with you guys with all these crazy things are happening,
Well, it is Dean's birthday. He's filming. So happy birthday, Dino.
Hey, oh man, Dean, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday. Oh
Yeah,
man.
he's filming right now. Typically, I know Dean and they live about 40 minutes from us. Whenever we do our live things, Dean and I typically aren't together. We've done them before, though.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And he would normally be popping on right now, perhaps, but he's busy. Today he's busy.
It's all right. So, I just had a question. You have another one?
Yeah. How long is the average investigation last for you guys?
Minimum 3 days.
Minimum of 3 days.
See, that's cool. That's cool. It's better than just being there for that one day. You get that extra days to be able to really get the feel for the place. Because I can imagine, have you ever been to a place yet that like you haven't got anything?
Yep, and we've actually filmed it and recorded it.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, the very first time True North Paranormal filmed, it was actually a high level of EMF, which, as you guys know, will actually cause your brain to start seeing things. Or the higher it gets, the more dangerous it gets. And this house was just loaded with EMF. Like my milligals were going off the charts. Like it was ridiculous. So yeah, so I mean, we filmed it, Dean produced it, and Dean released it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's cool. You guys released it. Because a lot of paranormal teams that are in your shoes like that won't release those type of episodes or won't release the type of investigation. They'll only release the ones that they get stuff on. And they'll never show like and everyone's always wondering like, how do you go to all these places? And there's always stuff. And it's like I don't get it.
I know one thing that we do with Thunder Boys and with True North Paranormal is we really research properties. We have to now, just because of the magnitude of places that we do talk to and reports. I mean, there's so much work that goes into it now. So, I mean, when we research and go somewhere, I mean, much as we're into it for the paranormal aspect, we're also in it for entertainment too. So we want to entertain you when you watch TV. I don't want to go on there and, bring out all the tech and get no hits for an hour.
Exactly.
And if there's no haunting, we will tell you there's nothing.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I mean, you guys are honest, and that's hard to find, especially in the TV world. A lot of people, like I said, are there to make the money and be out, and you guys actually have a passion and drive, for the spirits and for paranormal, which is, very hard to find. So, especially like I said, in shoes where you're in TV aspect and entertainment aspect, So, like I said, that's what attracted me to you guys. After watching you guys on my friend's live, and getting to hear you guys speak about it, and it was just I knew right away. And then when Dean got to show me a little bit of something, I was like, these guys are the most genuine people I have ever seen, and they are actually there for the paranormal. They're not there for anything else, which is nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, making money is nice, but you're there for that reason because it's something you love, and I find that just great. I find that amazing.
Thank you.
No, we can't lose sight of it.
That's great.
And come on our show. That
Seriously.
definitely means a lot to us.
Yeah, it means more. Yeah, it means so much to us that you guys had time to come on here. You guys gave us a shot. We really appreciate that, like more than you even know.
It's all about networking.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
that's one thing. We like being approachable. We love doing stuff like this
Yeah,
because
this
we get
is
to
fun.
talk to people.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you have another question?
Yeah, I asked like 3. I'm good.
Okay, good. Okay.
He got it.
Yeah, he got his whole night done right there. You know.
He got the Hattie, so you know.
Yeah.
He's part Canadian there if he's rolling with the Hattie logic.
Yeah.
Learn to say A.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, so let me ask you. You watched The Haunting of the Powerhouse Theater.
Yeah.
All right. So, what would you say would have been your most compelling evidence that we presented?
Ooh.
That's a good one because there's so much.
Yeah, there was so much. You know what? I was honestly, one thing that I was attracted to was when you, Karina, were doing your walkthrough and stuff like that. When I saw you like explaining stuff that you were feeling, and that, like, I don't know if it was right in the beginning or if it was a little bit more towards the edge of what I'm talking about, but that stuff really intrigues me. And then when you guys, I can't remember offhand everything, so I don't want to say something and then it not be right or what I'm going to say. But the evidence that you got after the fact of when you did your initial, like, you know, what you were feeling,
Yeah.
just connecting those two, and then the history of the place that was shown was just matching all that up fascinated me. And that was one of the biggest things that I look for is, does everything match? You know, is this, you know, I want to know, is this definitely, are they definitely contacting something that can be backed up by research? And, you know, you guys showed that on the episode. You know, I don't want to give too much away, and I don't remember too much that because I watched it, like I said, a few days ago when he first gave it to me, which was like maybe a week or two ago.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away too much or say too much, but like that was a lot of the parts that I like. I love the medium part, like I said. I knew you were medium, but I didn't know offhand, and I didn't want to say it, so that's why I asked you in the beginning and got that answer. But you know, I just thought maybe you were intuitive, you know, and you were just an investigator who was intuitive. But yeah, that was my favorite part. I didn't actually get to show him. I may have showed you a little
bit,
yeah, but I didn't show him just because Dean asked me not to share it. Even though me and him are partners, I wanted to respect you guys and keep it, you know, low key.
Sure.
When you guys come, when the first season comes out, I'm going to be contacting you guys, and we're definitely going to be going over some stuff you guys caught, because
Oh yeah, man. No, for sure.
I loved it. It was awesome. So, one of the questions I wanted to ask was, what's your guys' goal from here on out? Like, what are you guys planning on doing from here on out?
I can tell you that our goal has been the same ever since we started doing it,
Yeah.
and that's just to present our findings. We have every desire to continue doing what we do because we enjoy it, and because we're people's last line of defense. We're just investigators.
Yeah.
So my goal is to continue doing the same integrity as we started out with.
Definitely. Now, do you guys, when you guys go into a place or have you guys gone into homes in the first episode? Anyone private?
Yeah, we've gone to a few different private residences.
Okay. Now, my question is, if they have an issue, do you guys do cleansing to help get the spirit out, or you guys get away from that?
We tend to let them advise them. The beauty of the human being, we all have different belief systems.
Okay.
So, you know, my belief system is not necessarily the same as Karina's, and is not necessarily the same as yours.
No, exactly.
So we'll recommend that they go to whatever their belief system is in instances like that, and have them take those matters into their hand. We'll tell them what we found, but we ultimately leave it with.
Yeah, we just advise them, kind of give them advice on how to fix it. But
Cool. Now, you actually were almost about to answer one of the questions I had next was, from doing this research, John, what do you believe happens to us when we pass? Or what do you believe about the afterlife? I would love to get your opinion on this.
All right, so I'm a believer in the evidence I've seen so far that the first law of thermodynamics definitely applies to the human being. When we pass, those millions of neurons have to go somewhere, which is an electrical impulse. You can't destroy energy, it can only be changed. So I do believe we become part of something else or go somewhere else. Otherwise, the evidence we're having, I mean, what's it say? I mean, you know.
Yeah, definitely. How about you?
What do you-
I grew up reading Sylvia Brown, so a lot of things that she believes and
Yeah.
what I have experienced, I believe her to be true. So when we die, we are here, and apparently the other side is here. It's just a foot off the ground and in another dimension.
Yeah.
And I guess there, our reality, it's more real there. So you know how real this is? Well, apparently on the other side, things seem more real.
Wow.
Colors are more vibrant. So, and just because, I've had glimpses and have had my own experiences, I believe a lot of what she says to be completely true.
No, yeah, no, I really like Sylvia Brown, 100%. And I heard another medium say the foot off the ground. She actually said one time, it was on Oprah one time, believe it or not, and she was like, "Yeah, it's 3 feet off the ground." And I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Different, different dimension.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh man, you answered the other question that I had. You did. In one sentence, when I asked you what you believe, you answered that completely.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So what I wanted to ask was, do you have any questions for us that you'd like to ask besides what you asked?
I have one. Where was your creepiest location?
Yeah.
Creepiest location. For me, it was when I started Coventry Circle Paranormal, I lived with my grandmother in her house. It was a house that was built in like the 1940s, 1950s, so it was pretty newer. But we had a well in the backyard that was covered over with dirt. And when I was little, my grandmother would always say, "Stay away from the well. We think it's going to cave in." I didn't think too much of it as a kid. But as I got older and through as being young and seeing things in the house and not understanding the paranormal, so not really putting two to two together, when I got older and I got a little bit into the paranormal, I realized that the house was so inhabited with spirits, it was like unbelievable. We started having pictures fly off the wall. We had a full tomato can, like a full tomato can. He was downstairs. He saw an apparition over his shoulder. He came to run up the stairs. Now we had like 7 people in the kitchen, and he went downstairs because there was a bathroom down there. And he went to go get a drink in the fridge, and he saw this apparition. He came to come, like basically running back up the stairs because it freaked him out. And right before he hit the stairs, there was a bottle it was like a dresser thing we had in our basement, and it literally flew, not rolling this way where it could roll off the dresser. It went this way and flew literally a good 12 feet in air.
It actually hit the wall.
And hit the wall with force. And everybody in the whole kitchen just stopped and looked. And then one of the craziest things I ever had happen in that house, I was doing a lot of sessions in the house, and I had a spirit when my girlfriend was sleeping over. I had a spirit of a girl. She was dressed in all white. It was a white gown. She had dark black hair. It looked like The Ring, if you ever seen the movie The Ring.
Yeah.
Literally over her face, she was completely soaked. And I woke up in my bed, and I wasn't sleeping a lot that week. And I woke up, maybe I fell asleep for 45 minutes, if that. And I woke up, and this girl was completely solid, standing at the foot of my bed. Now, I always leave my TV on, and what's crazy about that is the TV was no longer on. I mean, it was on, but it was on a blue screen that I don't even know how to get to, or I'd never even seen the TV go to a blue screen, which is crazy. But it was on a blue screen, and my door that was locked was wide open because I lock it every night. And all of a sudden, I'm going to grab my camera as I'm looking at her because I don't want to turn away because I know if I turn away, I'm not going to see her. So I kept my eyes on her, and literally as I'm grabbing the camera, it was like a pile of leaves got blown by the wind, and she just disappeared. And then 2 weeks later, she appeared again, only dressed more like an angel, if you want to say, not with all this hatred that I felt, to my grandmother in the kitchen. And my grandmother was walking up the stairs literally 2 weeks later, and this girl appeared in a white gown, completely smiling, not giving off a dark feeling like she was me. And my grandmother came in my room and was like, I just saw a girl and she described her, and I was like, oh my God, that was the same one I told you about 2 weeks ago. And just the wildest things that happened there. There was a dark.
She used to sing too.
Yeah, she used to
Every once in a
sing and hum, like you would hear it through the house. But it was never like how you heard that bang. It was never in a specific location. It was like all around us. Like you couldn't pinpoint actually where it was, but it felt like it was so close. And just we had a demon one time. I think it was a demon. It was a very dark mass. My cat freaked out on it. It chased it around the house. And what ended up happening was I played with a Ouija board when I was like 16, like an idiot, and I didn't believe in the paranormal. At least I said I didn't. And, yeah, there's the said I didn't, And I got something through the board that threatened me, and I was like, whatever. And I went home, and I went to go grab strawberries. I cut them up, and I had a cat at the time that was like very attached to me. And I put my hand down. I was about to walk up the stairs. I had all the lights off because everybody was sleeping. And in my room up the stairs, there was the moonlight coming in. So I saw this cat run up the stairs, dark shadow of a cat, and I didn't feel her when she ran up. All of a sudden, I see her jump on my bed, and I see the cat walking around my bed. And all of a sudden, I realize as I'm staring at her walking around the bed, and all I see is a black, obviously, shadow, I notice that the tail is like a snake. And it's like, you know how like smoke, smoke will come up and disappear and like just keep coming up like a candle, And it was like that. And I walk in the room and I see this black mass. It's dark, but I can see this black mass circling my bed. I turn the light on, nothing's there. So I'm like, no big deal. Something I probably just saw, no big deal. Still didn't want to believe. I sat down, I'm eating my strawberries with my back to the door. All of a sudden, I feel a finger it felt like somebody licked their finger and went down my neck. All of a sudden, I jumped up. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that was. I sat back down, didn't want to believe it again. All of a sudden, I heard knocking at the door and scratching at the door. And I'm like, there's my cat. I went to go open the door. No cat was there. Shut the door. All of a sudden, sat back down. Same scratching noise again. So I walked over, and this time I cracked the door. But the cat didn't run in. I'm like, what's going on? So I opened the door. Cat's on her fours like this. And she's growling, foam coming out of her mouth, eyes wide open. Now, this cat, you could hold her tail. She would get on her stomach. She would let you rub her stomach. This cat never growled, hissed, anything, ever, except for this one time. And she jumped on that bed. She chased this mass around the bed. Now, I saw the mass when she finally got on the bed. And this mass literally ran around the bed with her, jumped off the bed, and then went to the wall where the door was. Went under the wall, and she stood there at the wall, hissing and foaming, like I had to literally pick her up to get her away from the wall. She was so mad at whatever this was. And ever since then, we started having a lot of negative things happen, to the point where my girlfriend, who was living with us, actually got almost possessed. I woke up one night to her rocking back and forth in Indian style, with right next to my head. And she was looking up at the ceiling and she was speaking in a totally different language. And when I laid her back down and I woke her up, she had no recollection of what she did. And she was she looked wide awake, eyes open, everything. It was scary. And I had to have her leave the house and all this stuff.
Wow.
We ended up selling the house. My grandma ended up selling the house 2 years ago. And they ended up remodeling it. But I always wonder, these girls that moved in, their parents bought it because there's a college right down the street. So they bought it for their daughters. I'm thinking to myself, man, I really feel bad for these guys because they have no idea what's going on. But
wow.
What was yours?
Mine was definitely that face in the basement.
Yeah, the face in the basement. Yeah,
right
same
before-
house?
Yep, same house.
Same house, yeah. So that house was wild. It really was. And I haven't been able to find a house that's that wild since. And I really hope I do one day. I do.
It'll happen, man.
Yeah, it was so fascinating. So I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I mean, I do want to keep talking, but I know you guys.
Yes, easy to do.
It totally is.
So, but if you could just take this moment, tell the viewers that are going to see this, that are seeing this, just tell them where they could check you out. If you could tell when it may get released, the seasons when they could check that out if possible. If not, that's okay. but just let them know where they can, check you guys out, follow you guys, do all that. I do have some links down at the bottom right here. But go ahead and take this time. Do it. Say whatever.
You're posting them. So, I mean, I kind of want to give you guys a shout out here. I mean, Coventry Circle Paranormal, you guys seem like a class act. So, we definitely want to follow you guys.
Oh,
So
totally.
tell our viewers where they can follow you.
Yeah.
You can follow us on YouTube. We are Coventry Circle Paranormal on YouTube. We also have a Facebook with Coventry Circle Paranormal page. And now we also have a Coventry Circle Paranormal podcast page on Facebook. And we're about to start tonight Coventry Circle Paranormal podcast YouTube, so that we can put all these videos on YouTube. And you guys are actually going to be the first one to go on there. Which is going to be awesome. So yeah, but please tell every one of ours that where they can find you.
They can find us on our page.
True North Paranormal on Facebook.
www.truenorthparanormal.com.
That's it.
It's going right on the bottom. Yeah.
And the YouTube channel as well, which is right there scrolling across the bottom.
That's right. YouTube.com for True North Paranormal.
That's it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, keep your eyes on our website. As soon as we can announce more, we'll announce more.
Awesome.
Right now, if you're living in British Columbia, you can see us on Shaw.
Shaw Spotlight.
That's right.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to try and hack Shaw so I can see you guys.
Oh, man.
Hear that, Shaw?
Can you send a link maybe? Is there a link?
I'll figure it out.
Okay. John's going to try to figure it out.
Oh, awesome. That'd be awesome, John. That'd be so cool. I really appreciate that.
Right on.
Anything else you guys want to say to the viewers at all?
How about you?
No, it was fun chatting with you guys. Like you said, I could keep chatting for hours because
Too.
I'd like to say make sure they follow Coventry Circle Paranormal.
yes, Coventry Circle Paranormal, they're fun. They're awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys
Appreciate
so much.
You guys are
Please stay on the call. I want to talk to you guys a little bit afterwards.
Absolutely, but
So, like I said, thank you so much for coming on. It was an honor meeting you guys. You guys are amazing.
We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, and we're gonna figure a way to get you on the States channels, because you guys need to be down here. You guys need to be on these channels. Even come down and get some of these locations down here that are iconic, because your investigation techniques I love, and like I said, the amount of integrity you have is absolutely through the roof, and that's something that I look for in paranormal teams. And just how fun you guys been, I really appreciate it. It's been awesome.
yeah,
Thank
man, it
you.
goes both
Thank
ways.
you.
So, all right, guys. Well, I'll talk to you in a minute. Thank you guys again. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
For sure, keep creepy.
Definitely. All right, everyone. So that was True North Paranormal. John and Karina, awesome people. I wish I had more time to talk to them. Sometimes an hour isn't enough with our guests.
I know.
You know?
I know. Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But now, tonight, we are actually going to start a Coventry Circle Paranormal podcast channel on YouTube. So you can check out all these upcoming episodes on YouTube. And we're also going to have the audio recorded so that we can put it on all platforms for podcasts, which is going to be awesome. But we are so happy that True North was our first episode that's going to go on the channel. We look forward to all the upcoming guests. We have JK47 coming back to talk about his techniques to remove entities from the house. Right now, he's like 6 for 6 or 5 for 5. I mean, he's going nuts right now, helping people out.
Definitely a good dude.
Definitely awesome. John Keyworth, amazing man. So we are happy to have him coming on. We have Clyde Paranormal coming on, which we were supposed to have on last weekend, but we had technical issues, which we apologize. And then we have a bunch of people coming on. I mean, we have a couple of people coming on that's going to be amazing. So definitely stick around. You can always see it live on Coventry Circle Paranormal podcast page on Facebook. And like I said, leave your comments if you want. We will ask them live. All right, guys. Until next time, this is Coventry Circle Paranormal Podcast. I'm AJ Capasso.
I'm Derek DeSorbo.
Awesome. Have a good night, guys.
Take it easy.